Dear chosen one, there's always been something about you that stands out, even if you couldn't quite explain it. Maybe you felt different most of your life, like you didn't quite fit in, even when you tried. Not because something was wrong with you, but because something was right. You're not broken. You're not too much. You're set apart. And recently, you've probably felt something shifting. It's as if life is starting to move in ways you didn't expect. Doors are opening without you having to knock. People are noticing you, people who never paid attention before. Opportunities are finding their way to you without you chasing after them. It's not random. It's not luck. It's God's favor working behind the scenes. When someone is chosen for something greater, the world around them begins to notice, even before they do. You might have started seeing signs, a feeling deep inside that there's more to your story than you've seen so far. And when that divine spotlight shines on your life, it becomes impossible to ignore. If these words are reaching you right when you need a reminder that God hasn't forgotten you, take a moment and type 111 in the comments. It's a small sign of faith, a way of saying, I received this. Because sometimes all it takes is a little act of faith to open the door to big blessings. If this is your first time hearing something like this, or if you feel spiritually drawn to messages like this, then you're in the right place. You're not here by accident. This space is made for people like you, the ones who are spiritually aware, chosen, and walking a path filled with purpose. And even if that purpose hasn't fully unfolded yet, you can feel it pulling you forward. Let's be honest, sometimes you walk into a room and everything just shifts. You don't speak louder than anyone else. You don't have to try and take over the space. You simply show up and something in the atmosphere changes. People pause, take notice, even look at you differently. Conversations shift, energy changes. It's not that you're trying to get attention. It's that your presence carries something powerful. Some people call it a vibe. Others might call it confidence. But what you really carry is something spiritual. It's a light inside you that can't be faked or hidden. And even though not everyone can explain it, they feel it. Some are drawn to it. Others are unsettled by it. And that's okay. You don't need to shine louder. You just need to show up. Because real light doesn't have to scream to be seen. It just exists, and darkness notices. Your light reveals things in others. That's why some people get uncomfortable around you without reason. It's not about what you say. It's about what you carry. That deep inner light, that sense of peace, that quiet strength. It challenges what's fake, what's hidden, what's hurting. You don't always realize it, but your very presence is doing spiritual work just by being there. And whether people know it consciously or not, their souls can sense the difference. And here's another thing. Things seem to work out for you in ways that don't always make sense. Maybe you've been given chances you didn't expect. Maybe resources showed up just when you needed them. Maybe people have come into your life and offered help without you even asking. From the outside, it might look like you're lucky, like things just fall into your lap. But it's not luck, it's alignment. It's God's hand moving for you, setting things up, working behind the curtain. You weren't supposed to be picked. You weren't the most qualified, or the most popular, or the one everyone expected. But you were the most called. And that calling makes a difference. When you're chosen, God has a way of placing you in positions where hustle can't take you. You can work hard, yes, but favor will open doors that your arsenal can't. Favor will connect you to people and opportunities that you didn't even know you needed. It's like there's a current pushing you forward, gently but powerfully. Others may work harder, speak louder, and still not get what you have. Not because you're better, but because you're aligned with a purpose that's bigger than effort. When God puts his hand on you, it's not to make your life easy. It's to make his purpose undeniable. So when people look at your life and wonder how you did it, the answer is simple: you were chosen. And when you're chosen, grace does what hustle can't. Another thing you've probably noticed is how people respond to you. Some are drawn to you like you're a safe space. Strangers may open up to you out of nowhere, sharing their problems, seeking comfort, looking for peace. They sense something calm in you, something honest. Maybe your friends tell you that being around you makes them feel better, like their thoughts slow down or their hearts feel lighter. That's not accidental. That's part of the spiritual gift you carry. You bring peace, healing, and clarity just by being present. But there's also the flip side. There are people who seem cold toward you for no reason. People who seem to dislike you before you even speak. They might act passive-aggressive or distant. You haven't wronged them. You haven't been unkind. You've simply existed, and that's enough to trigger something in them. That's not your fault. That's spiritual, too. The light in you shines on parts of them they're not ready to face. Your presence stirs up what they've kept hidden. And when someone isn't ready to grow, your light can feel like pressure. That's why your circle may feel smaller lately. Some friends may have faded away. Certain rooms might have started to feel uncomfortable. You might have even asked yourself, did I change? And the truth is, yes, you did. You grew. You elevated. You aligned. And not everyone could go with you. That's not rejection. That's redirection. God removes people and things when they no longer serve where He's taking you. The closer you get to Him, the more your spirit naturally starts to disturb anything fake, harmful, or unaligned. So if you felt tension lately, if you've noticed weird shifts in people's energy toward you, don't panic. It's not you doing something wrong. It's your light doing something right. You're not here to please everyone. You're here to walk in truth. And truth isn't always comfortable, but it's always powerful. You've probably spent a long time wondering why you're so different, why you feel more, sense more, notice things others ignore, why your path seems harder in some ways, but also full of strange blessings. The truth is, your soul came here with purpose, a deep one. And with that purpose comes preparation, pressure, and protection. You're not meant to blend in. You're meant to lead, even if it's just by example. Even if your leadership looks quiet, gentle, or unseen by the world. Your influence isn't in how loud you are, it's in how real you are. So don't shrink to fit where you no longer belong. Don't dim to make others comfortable. You weren't made to be small. You were made to carry light. And that light is needed now more than ever. Every time you choose peace over drama, truth over popularity, purpose over comfort, you shine brighter. You rise higher. You become even more of who you were born to be. And yes, it gets lonely sometimes. But chosen people often walk alone before they lead others. Your path may be quiet now, but it's sacred. Every delay, every closed door, every no was actually making room for something greater. You're not behind. You're in divine timing. There are moments in life when everything feels like too much, like the world is pressing in from all sides, and you're barely holding on. You look back on your journey, and it's honestly a miracle you're still here. You've been through things that should have broken you. There were days you felt completely alone, crying in the dark with no one to talk to and no hope in sight. Times you thought you'd reached the end. Moments when you didn't even recognize yourself in the mirror anymore. But somehow, despite all of that, you're still standing. Maybe you don't even know how you made it through. You just did. Something inside you wouldn't let you give up. That something isn't just willpower. It's purpose. You were created for more than just surviving the hard days. You were made to rise from them, stronger each time. Every heartbreak you endured, every betrayal you didn't see coming, every silent battle you fought when no one else knew what you were going through, it all built you. You didn't break. You bent, you struggled, you fell down, but you got back up. That's not weakness. That's strength. And not the kind of strength the world celebrates, like loud wins or flashy success. No, this is the quiet, steady strength that keeps going when everything inside says stop. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you dangerous to anything trying to hold you back. You've had moments where everything around you seemed to fall apart. You felt lost. Maybe you even felt like God had gone silent. But still, something deeper kept you moving. You didn't just survive, you were being shaped. Every storm wasn't just a problem, it was a lesson. Every closed door wasn't rejection, it was redirection. What was meant to destroy you ended up being part of your preparation. Life tried to bury you, but it forgot that you were a seed. And now, you're growing in ways others can't even see yet. And then there's that voice inside you. You know the one. The quiet one that speaks up in the still moments, that tells you to turn left when everyone else says right. It doesn't shout. It whispers. But it's always right. Even when you doubt it, even when you question yourself, that voice has saved you more times than you can count. It's kept you from the wrong people, helped you make the right moves, even when they didn't make sense on paper. That's not just intuition. That's God speaking directly to your soul. You hear from Him more clearly than you realize. You feel things before they happen. You sense when something's off, even if you don't know why. That's called discernment, and it's a gift. The older you get, the more you realize you don't need everyone's opinion. You don't need to be validated by people who don't even understand your calling. You've learned to trust that feeling in your gut. You've learned that peace is a better guide than pressure. And every time you listen to that inner voice, you see why it's worth trusting. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it's always right on time. That's favor. That's God walking with you, even when you're not sure where you're going. But let's be real, sometimes it feels like you're constantly under attack. Just when things start going right, something comes out of nowhere and tries to knock you off course. It can be exhausting. You wonder why life seems harder for you than it is for others. But here's the truth. Pressure is a sign of purpose. The enemy doesn't fight people who aren't a threat. If you're getting hit hard, it's because you carry something powerful. Every time you get close to a breakthrough, the resistance gets stronger. That's not bad luck. That's confirmation you're close to something big. It's like spiritual warfare, distractions, delays, conflict out of nowhere. It's heavy and it's real, but it's not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's a sign you're doing something right. The enemy senses momentum. He knows you're on the edge of something God ordained, and that scares him. So he throws everything at you to stop you. But don't let the battle make you forget your power. You weren't built to break. You were built to overcome. You were made for moments like this. And here's the wild part. You're getting noticed. Even when you're not trying. You're not playing games. You're not faking smiles or stepping on people to get ahead. You're just being you. Honest. Real. Focused. And somehow, your name keeps showing up in places you've never been. People talk about you in rooms you've never walked into. Doors open that you didn't even knock on. That's not luck. That's divine alignment. That's God putting your name on hearts, placing your face in minds, setting you up for things you didn't even know to pray for. You don't need a big platform to be powerful. You don't need connections or clout to rise. When God wants to elevate you, He doesn't ask for permission. He doesn't follow human rules. He makes a way out of nowhere. And when it's your time, no one can stop it. Not the haters, not the gatekeepers, not even your own doubts. Your rise is not for show, it's for purpose. And people might not understand it. They might wonder how you're getting ahead without playing by the rules. But that's because they don't know the favor on your life. What took others years is happening quickly for you. And it's not because you're better, it's because you're chosen. You've also probably noticed something else. You don't fit in anymore. Not like you used to. You feel disconnected from the things that used to excite you. You see everyone chasing popularity, chasing trends, trying to stay relevant, but you just can't bring yourself to care about that anymore. You feel pulled in another direction, and even though you can't fully explain it, you know it's real. It's not that you think you're better than others. It's just that your spirit craves something deeper. You want purpose over popularity, alignment over applause. Sometimes that makes you feel isolated, like you're walking a lonely road. But that discomfort isn't a punishment. It's protection. God is keeping you set apart for a reason. You weren't made to blend in. You were made to stand out, not for attention, but for assignment. You're not here to entertain the world. You're here to change it. That sense of hiddenness, that feeling of being in a waiting season, it's not delay. It's development. When God reveals you, it won't just be a moment. It'll be a movement. So if you're reading this and something in your heart feels like it's waking up, that's not a coincidence. That's confirmation. You're not crazy. You're not imagining it. You're not broken. You're marked. You're called. And everything you've been through, the pain, the pressure, the silence, the battles, they were never random. They were shaping you for what's next, for what's yours. This journey hasn't been easy, but you didn't come this far to quit. You've been carried by grace, protected by wisdom, guided by a voice bigger than your fear. And every step you take now, even if it's shaky, is taking you closer to what you were born for. So trust it. Trust the timing. Trust the process. And most of all, trust the voice inside you. You're not alone anymore. You've found your space, your tribe, people who see the world like you do, who feel what you feel. And if this word reached you at exactly the right time, if it felt like it was written just for you, it probably was. That's alignment. That's purpose showing up right on time.